Good afternoon, everyone. Time for another silver update. This is the 10-minute chart, and today silver seems to be entering into a new range expansion. What I mean by that is the volatility with this breakout seems to have significantly increased. You can see the size of the moves that we have here with the top that we got around 42.62 down to 41.38. That's about $1.20 and $1.20, $1.30, and we've gone back up to 42.38. So we're moving in much larger numbers now. So it wouldn't be surprising to make a move rapidly towards $50 at this point. Now, one of the reasons that I point that out is you can see we have a MACD crossover, but we actually have a larger series of MACD crossovers that are taking shape here. The first one starts with the 8-hour. You can see that we dipped and we're rising now. Going back to the past consolidation areas that I spoke of, I was watching closely this area and this area. You can see that we're now trying to get through this area, which will leave us with this area as the next area of resistance. But the main point is this MACD crossover that we have here. Normally when you have a MACD crossover on one of the time frames, it is not a crossover, or it's overbought on the other time frames. In certain unique circumstances, you end up with multiple crossovers in multiple time frames. That's the type of thing that we're seeing here. So look at the 8-hour, we're rising with a crossover. The daily has a reversal crossover that's starting right now. But most importantly, when we back out to the weekly chart, we have a developing crossover right here. Now, if the weekly crosses through something like this, you can see this crossover here corresponded with this move. So we may be looking at a crossover that corresponds with a dramatic price move. If it corresponds with moves into new highs on the MACD, I think we'll be way beyond new highs on the price. So I think a good target is probably $60 or $70 for the fall, and I'm still going to stick with my price target of $100 by the end of this year, beginning of next year. Now, gold is not keeping up today in the last few minutes with the move in silver, but overnight gold made a tremendous move. It's been moving solidly higher. The breakout above the 1814 line here, you can see, came with tremendous strength in Asia. And you can see that the MACD has reset now on gold, so we're probably going to move higher. There's nothing to indicate anything, any weakness at this point. I expect us to run to 2000 pretty quick. The oil market has bottomed a little bit. The economic weakness that has caused oil to sell off and stocks to sell off, well, it looks like the decline probably is still intact. The trend is still intact, but we'll wait and see what oil does. The Japanese yen is another story. We had a significant breakdown. It may be central bank intervention that's turning this around. It may not be. I'm not sure. If we check the volume, it doesn't appear to be large enough volume to be central bank based. It may just be people taking the other side of this trade, trying to pick a bottom. But we did briefly touch down into new all-time lows. Actually went into the 75 range on the dollar yen. So we're keeping an eye on that one. The Swiss franc dollar, Swiss franc, is still holding its own after the intervention back around 70, in the 70 cents, 70 Swiss cents. Now we're up to 78. So big 10% intervention is still holding in the Swiss franc. So we're keeping an eye on that too. I wanted to jump over and look at the America the Beautiful silver coin that I had recommended. When I first recommended it, had about 4,000 on this one Olympic coin. We're now down to 33.51, so people have picked up about 600 or so of those coins. Again, the price on this is still very low. We're looking at $42 an ounce for silver right now, and at 222, that's just about 12 bucks premium for the entire coin. So an incredible buy. Now, some listeners have pointed out a little number of disturbing things about this coin. First off, this coin doesn't say silver on it. Nowhere on this coin, not only does it not say 3/9 silver, it doesn't say silver at all, and that's a little bit disturbing. It's also the fact that it is a cousin to the same type of sets, quarters, that are not silver, so I don't know what all that means. I haven't thoroughly researched it, but in the process of researching it, I did come across a very interesting article, and that may account for the type of activity we've seen in this unusual coin. This article was posted on CoinLink right before the release of that coin, and it brings up some very interesting things. So I'll go ahead and read it. The U.S. Mint's December 1st announcement that the new 2010 America the Beautiful 5-ounce 999 silver bullion quarter dollars were to go on sale December 6th was canceled earlier this week over Mint concerns and complaints that the much-anticipated coins were being overpriced. The U.S. Mint does not distribute its bullion products directly to the public, but rather uses a network of 11 primary distributors who purchase the coins from the Mint at $9.75 over the spot price of silver, and then in turn mostly wholesale these out to retail dealers. Few of these primary distributors have retail facilities. Here's a list of the primary distributors. As part of the December 1st announcement, the Mint surprisingly drastically reduced the mintages for the much anticipated 5-ounce America the Beautiful coins from an anticipated 100,000 coins for each of the 5 designs to a mere 33,000. After the announcement, APMEX decided to offer the 2010 5-coin set to customers and allow them to pre-order the coins from their website. APMEX is one of the few primary distributors that maintain a retail presence through their website, which is excellent, by the way. The 5-coin set was being offered at $1,300. Now, this is when the price of silver was much lower than it is now, so that was quite a premium. Obviously, with such limited supplies, the large 3-inch in diameter bullion coins were expected to be in hot demand. However, within hours of this pre-launch offering, complaints started to be registered with U.S. Mint because APMEX, responding to the anticipated demand and low mintages, had placed a $130 premium per coin on the set. APMEX customers didn't seem to mind the hefty premiums too much because within 19 hours after the posted pre-launch offer, they had sold 1,000 sets. But the U.S. Mint did mind. In fact, they halted the release of the new 5-ounce coins to review the situation. In a statement released by the U.S. Mint and posted on Coin Update, the Mint made the following statements. The United States Mint is aware of reports of concern by many consumers about the high prices and premiums being charged in the market for the newly released America the Beautiful silver bullion coins. We are evaluating these reports and collecting information in order to assess the appropriate course of action to make certain that our customers are best served in the distribution of the coins and to ensure the widest possible availability, accessibility, and affordability of these coins. The same day, the U.S. Mint sent the following memo to primary distributors. The United States Mint issued a press release on December 1, 2010, announcing the December 6 availability of the 2010 America the Beautiful ounce silver coins through the established network of authorized purchasers who in turn would make them available on the secondary market. Due to the limited availability of the 2010 America the Beautiful silver bullion coins, Public anticipation has been extremely strong. Since the press release was issued, the United States Mint has received numerous calls and inquiries from the public regarding premiums being charged for these coins. As a result, we're delaying the launch of this program. No America the Beautiful ounce silver coins will be orders will be confirmed today. New terms and conditions for primary deals. This is where it gets good. Now listen to these. Authorized purchasers shall make available for sale to the public all 2010 America the Beautiful coins that they acquire. The intention of this condition is to ensure that all 2010 America the Beautiful silver bullion coins minted and issued by United States Mint are sold to the public. 2. Authorized purchasers may charge to their customers a price no higher than 10% above the price at which the authorized purchasers acquired the coins. Authorized purchasers may charge their customers a reasonable shipping and handling fee. However, authorized purchasers may not charge any other fee, premium, or other expense to their customers to circumvent this 10% markup limitation. The intention of this condition is to ensure that members of the public can obtain these coins at a reasonable, affordable purchase price. Authorized purchasers must establish and enforce an order limit of 1 coin of each design for each household. A household is defined as all persons of a family or living as a family at a single mailing address. The intention of this condition is to ensure the broadest and fairest public accessibility to the coin, etc. Authorized purchasers may not sell either directly or indirectly to the 2010 America the Beautiful silver coins to their officers or employees. The intention of this condition is to ensure the America the Beautiful silver coins are available to the public. So here is the heavy-handed mint coming out here saying, first of all, they're the ones who rationed these coins, okay? Because initially there's to be 100,000, but then they cut that by a third and made it 33,000, or by 2/3 and made it 33,000. Then they started throwing all these regulations at the dealers. First they put on a condition of only 10% markup. Then they said they can't hold, or first they said they can't hold any back to try to make a higher profit. Then they put this 10% charge on there and also a reasonable fee. So they're going to look into their handling fees. Then they want them to keep a database of people's mailing addresses. And none of their employees can buy them. So this is how this thing started out. It started out a total fiasco with this is just a typical government fingerprint of disaster. So I don't know how these things line up. I don't know how that story and what became of it matches up with the fact that now that APMEX is actually selling these America the Beautiful coins as no better than bullion. So crazy situation. I don't know what caused it, but it gives me pause. I am having second thoughts as to whether I'm going to buy this coin. First of all, because it doesn't say silver on it. It doesn't have the 3 9s on it. I'm sure it's silver, but it's something you need to wonder about. And then the heavy-handed way the mint came out and established all these regulations and created artificial shortages and then tried to create bottlenecks and regulations, and it just, the whole thing stinks. So in my book, the way the mint handled this America the Beautiful coin, they get an F for complete failure. So let's jump over to the latest Jim Willie. It's a good one. He is talking about gold and silver full spectrum dominance, and he addresses a little bit about some of the comments that I've been having recently about silver's not keeping up and silver's not going to make it, and you've made an outrageous call calling for $100 silver by the end of the year and all this stuff. Not to say I'm going to be right, but that's just my best guess. Anyway, so let's the whole thing is excellent. I encourage you to read the whole thing, but let's jump down to the crux of it with silver. And Jim Willie says, silver, more than industrial metal. The consolidation phase for silver has given compromised critics and lousy analysts an opportunity to denigrate the white metal, claiming it is exposed for its vulnerability as an industrial metal. While some significant portion of silver demand comes from industrial processes, it is not replaceable. Besides, its investment demand has been equal in US dollar volume as gold demand, a remarkable fact pointed out by sector leaders Eric Sprott and James Turk. They argue that the silver price will move higher and reduce the gold-silver ratio in the process naturally. The true industrial metal indicator is copper, not silver. Copper has earned the title of having a PhD in economics. Notice how silver has outpaced the copper price in the last 18 months, even post-May when the COMEX ambush occurred with successive margin requirement hikes. The silver-copper ratio has risen steadily. Sorry, the industrial argument is a weak angle that does not bear weight or scrutiny. The silver investment demand is due to a big, important recognition that silver is in the process of resuming and reclaiming its monetary role. The Chinese lead in that parade, adding silver to their reserves in management of their $3.2 trillion reserves booty. And he gives you a chart of silver and copper. The gold market breakout has made history, exceeding the $1,800 level before the usual games were played. The higher COMEX margin requirement is a tired card at a tilted table. Look for gold profits to move towards silver positions, lifting its price towards $50 in the coming several weeks. Lastly, one must wonder why the U.S. Treasury bond futures contract does not have to endure margin requirement increases. It is clearly the biggest asset bubble in existence. However, it is the standard bearer of the fiat paper charade. Its low yield is proof positive of being broken, just like Greece with its high yield. The U.S. Treasury bond complex would be in big trouble if not for the interest rate swap and the U.S. dollar printing press, both. Prepare to protect your personal wealth during the grandest transfer of wealth in modern history, from toxic paper to reliable hard metal with no counterparty risk. Money is in the process of being invalidated and redefined. The paradigm shift continues at work. Excellent article and very prescient. We can see that silver is now catching up. It's moving higher. We're at 42.36. We have penetrated this last resistance support line here. We'll draw it right here. We're moving higher above that line, and with the triple cross of the weekly MACD, the daily MACD, and the 8-hour MACD, it looks like silver could really move at this point. And hopefully you're on board. You picked up some cheap silver, because I think the next move is going to be amazing. And we'll talk to you next time.